Have you ever wondered how radio shows, podcasts, even television shows get their guests? Well, that actually makes you wonder because it has to be certain things have to be in place from your end if you want to be the guest, and also from the media platform as well. And that's what we're going to talk about. I am Dr. Renee Sunday. I am the platform builder. So what we're going to talk about, we're going to talk about how do I get my guests for my podcast? So we're going to chime in on that. When you come in, please tell me where you're from and the information. And we're going to get started here. All right. So how can I actually give you this information? Yes, I can, because I am known as the platform builder. So what I do is I help increase visibility for entrepreneurs so they can via podcasting, publishing, and media exposure. And we do that so you can be seen, be heard, and guess what? Get paid. Because if people see you more, if people hear you more, guess what? You actually can get more of the ching ching. But when you come in, please like and share. We're going to make sure our volume's good on the different platforms. And then we're going to share this information because we actually need this information, because people always inbox me. People always wanting coaching of how they actually can have more potential clients and consistent clients. And the only way you're going to get that is you have to be seen, be heard, and get paid. So this is some valuable information that we're going to share. We're going to make sure we're good on the different platforms, and we're going to get started here. All right. So this one we're going to talk about the three things, and then I'm going to get out your way because I know you're very busy, right? Yes. So what we're going to talk about is the three ways you can get guests for your podcast. I'm going to just run the list if you actually a list taker. The first thing is word of mouth, and we're going to explain that a little bit more. The next thing is doing speaking engagements. And the last thing, of course, our social media. Social media is very, very powerful. So we're going to talk about the three surefire ways to get guests for your podcast. So that's what we're going to talk about. Yes. So the first one we're going to talk about is word of mouth. Yes, I know word of mouth still work. It's actually one of the big ways that I like getting, because if you do something right, if someone actually see that you have credibility, if someone else sees that you stick to your word, of course, things happen. We know that. That's in business. But the thing about it is you have credibility, you're following up with the people, you letting them know what's going on, and people will feel comfortable with that. Because if you go, let's say, for example, if you're buying a car, when you go in certain car dealerships, you're not going to get a discount. If you go into a Tesla shop, you're not going to get a discount. So you know what you're going to get when you come to the table. So that's what we need to actually put a precedence, have our branding in place. So when people come to us, we'll have all our ducks in a row. Of course, I know the internet can do whatever, right? So we actually always have to have a plan B, C, D, and almost even F. So word of mouth. So your friends will talk about you. Your friends actually will say that you actually have a podcast, that you have a media platform, and you actually had a wonderful experience when you actually was in that platform. So that actually will actually increase you the opportunity that you can share somebody else's information, that you actually on your podcast can have guests because word of mouth. Someone else have been on your podcast. Someone else have seen the things that you've done. I've always had people on the Dr. Renee Sunday Show podcast. People always say, well, Dr. Sunday, we feel so comfortable. You allow us to just really be ourselves on the podcast. And I say to myself a lot of times, well, I hope you that's what you're able to do wherever. But a lot of times that's not true, because every platform, guess what? Every platform have guidelines. Every platform actually have things they want you to do and not do on their platform. Okay. So that's why you actually need to be able to know what you bring to the table. You need to know what you actually are doing in this season. So word of mouth, the thing about it is, I heard the saying, if you look in your cell phone, the last 5 people that's in your cell phone, that's actually who your network is. Well, yes, because networking is very powerful, but how powerful is it, Dr. Sunday? Well, it's powerful to the point that if you actually treat somebody the right way, you see what I'm saying? Excuse me. If you treat somebody the right way, if you actually give them valuable information, if you actually have done a good action, guess be able to refer you. Still, in regards of real estate, that actually is still the number one way. Of course, we're going to talk a little bit more of how now, of course, social media plays a part in that. But we're going to actually talk about that when we get a little further. But so what we're doing is okay. All right. So what we're doing, we actually showing you the information. I'm trying to get my social media over here on Periscope is doing a little something. So now we're back. Okay. So what we're doing, we actually showing you the different 3 ways. People that just coming in, we're talking about the 3 surefire ways to get guests for your podcast. The first one is the word of mouth. So word of mouth, people that actually have been already on your platform can refer somebody else. The people that's actually in your network can actually refer somebody else. The people that actually, when you have done a good deed, they know your credibility and you can refer people. I actually was very fortunate when I first started the radio show. We were booked out almost 6 months. And that usually happens a lot with our podcast. But what we do now, we try to keep it to at least under a month. But if we open it up, we could actually be booked up for 6 months. And then, a lot goes in with that 6 months. If you book people that far out, you actually have to have, my team was getting war. It was a lot of back end stuff that still had to be done because we wanted to make sure that the guests showed up, right? So we actually streamlined it. I'm telling you some behind the scene things we had to do is streamline it, that we actually do keep it to a month or less. That's what we do. And that has actually increased our profitability. We actually have had a more smooth selling process on the guest side and also on our side as well as our company. So that's number one. Now, anytime you have any questions, please jot them down. Okay. Welcome everyone on YouTube. Now, the second thing is speaking engagement. Yes, speaking engagement can be live and speaking engagement can be virtual. Take advantage of all these opportunities to actually get your word out. Because as I say in my slogan, be seen, be heard, and get paid. We actually have to be seen. We actually have to be heard in order to increase our potential clients. And then we actually can hear the ching ching, right? So we have to get out, a lot of speaking engagement. There are speaking bureaus. I'm a part of several of those. If you want to know anything more about those, you can actually check out, go to we can talk offline, but actually, there's so many events out there. You just have to keep your eyes open. And then the thing is, you need to have certain things ready. If you say you're a speaker, do you have a one sheet? Do you have a media kit? Do you actually have a signature talk? I mean, what are you going to offer? I think, let me just put this in. I think a lot of people, when they guest on people's platform, it's hard for someone to buy your book unless it really resonates with them. So what you actually need to do is have a lead magnet. What you really need to do is give something for free and then get them in your database, and then you actually can nurture them, and then eventually you can have a sale. I think it's a disadvantage to a lot of people when they'll say that they didn't get any results from being on the radio, the TV show, or the podcast. But what you really have to do, these are cold market. This is a cold market in regards the people they don't know you. Now it's different. We're talking about the high-end people, people that Bishop Jakes, Susan Ormer. They already are Joyce Meyer. Whatever book comes out, people buy. I do. But if you're just new, and especially new with your business, and have it, at least less than 3 years, really less than 5 years, what we need to do is make sure that we just give something for free. 5 reasons you want to do this, 3 reasons you want to do this. 3 is the magic number, but 3, 5, and 7 is usually what works. I've seen people do 10, 12, but this microwave society, we want things quick, fast, and hurry. So we actually have to make sure we actually give great content and try to package it in a short fashion. Okay, so that's the next one. If anyone has any questions or concerns, put them down. Now, the last thing is, because we're not going to keep you long, this is going to be short. Social media. Social media is very powerful. There are so many different platforms. You pick the platform that actually resonates with you better, in regards of who you're trying to attract, who's your target market, who's your avatar. Because the thing about it is, a lot of the young people on Instagram and they on TikTok, but people what is your age group? Are they on Facebook? Are they on YouTube? Are they on, all these different Periscope? The thing about it is, as I said earlier, you have to be seen, be heard, and get paid. So what avenue are you using in regards of actually getting your word out? So social media, you can do a post. Like yesterday, we put a post out that we had some openings for a podcast for our schedule for this month. Guess what? It's already full. Our podcast, the Dr. Renee Sunday Show podcast, is kind of, it started off, I always have done interviews, but now it's kind of somewhat of a mixture. And the mixture is sometimes I give great gems like I'm doing now. And then sometimes it's actually interviewing the guests. So we kind of do a combination to kind of keep it spicy, okay? But the thing about it is, what you have to do is you need to know your platform that you're doing as the guest, and also as being, if you have your own podcast. I think the thing people forget is having your own podcast is amazing, but you actually need to be out there and be seen, be heard, in order for you to get paid in the different things that you have as well. A podcast is a powerful tool that you actually can use to extend your brand to actually, is this going to be your whole soul baby? Or actually, is this an extension of the brand that you're doing right now? So you have to actually get all that hashed out. But then the thing is, people have so much trouble, some people, of getting guests. And I wanted to give you the information, word of mouth. Look in your cell phone right now. You have a database of people that would love to be a guest on your podcast. You just need to ask them. That's all. You need to ask them. And then also speaking engagement, meaning virtual and also live events. People love to be in the media because people love to talk about, guess what, themselves. Okay. And then also, of course, our amazing social media. If you actually have a business page or even a group with your podcast, that is very valuable. But a lot of times, a lot of your engagement is actually on your personal page. Yes, because the business page has changed a lot. And so you actually can get a lot of information actually via your personal page. But make sure you have the right target. That's the key. Are you targeting the right people? Me personally, when I first started out, I spoke mostly to women entrepreneurs that was more in the 47, 50 age range that feel frustrated. They feel like they're not having visibility. They feel like have they really made a mark in life? I guess that's the way of saying it. And let me tell you, that can be different for our people, because one thing for me personally, where I am in my life, I love giving back. I love giving to the community. I love actually helping someone else get past what they're going through. So of course, with our nonprofit, it could be just a meal, because we take things for granted. I know I'm going on a tangent, but we take things for granted of having something to eat. We have taken for granted of having the opportunity to have education. We take that for granted. So what we need to do is make sure that we know what our why is, and then we can actually go from there. And let me see. Okay. Hey, Mr. Dr. Wells, how you doing? So I just want to let you guys know I do actually have a great academy that's coming up. It's called the Podcast Profit Formula. And if you actually want to get on the waiting list, I'm going to put that here. Podcast Profit Formula. And you can get on the waiting list. What we're going to do with that is we're going to actually show you how to do this and actually make it profitable. Okay. Okay, there's some funny people over on YouTube. I'm sorry. It's just kind of funny. They say Dr. Sunday. Oh God, they rarely see me, I guess, on over there. And so anyway. But anyway, if anyone have any questions or concerns, you can go to our website, which is reneesunday.com, or you could actually put the questions in here. You can type them in and we can get those together. So if you want to start your own podcast, go to podcastprofitformula.com and you can sign up for the waiting list on that. All right. Well, good morning, Dr. Wells. So what we're going to do is we're going to just recap the reason I wanted to come in, because I get this all the time. Dr. Sunday, how do you get the guests on your platform? Let me tell you, I'm grateful that I actually, I talk. And you know, you have to have a word of mouth. You have to be able to talk about your brand if nobody else talks about your brand. You actually need to be able to speak. You know, I love speaking from the stage. I love actually being on virtual events. But the thing about it, I need to be able to talk about my brand. Okay. And then the last thing, the amazing social media, you know, I can get real deep with that. You can actually do awareness, brand awareness ads. I mean, it's Facebook ads, YouTube ads, there's so many ads. But just what? Just pick your phone up. You have 5,000 people, right? So just ask them. Just ask them. Say, hey, do you want to be a guest on my podcast? Okay. But I actually got a deep dive. We're going to actually show you how to do this and actually monetize it. We actually have sponsors that's anonymous. They don't want to be, they don't want me to say their name, but they want to support me in the things that I'm doing. So they pay for all of this stuff that you see me doing a lot of times. Okay. And then I have people that sponsor on the TV show side, some that wants to be mentioned and some don't. So I just respect what their beliefs are. And I'm grateful that they actually, you know, have faith in me. But I make sure I have the credibility. I make sure I keep them abreast of what's going on in my world. Okay. So anyway, we're gonna, hey Bishop, how you guys doing? If you have any questions, we're gonna chime off. My team was really excited that I wanted to do this so early, but I wanted to get this because you know what? I have a lot of, just like everybody else, I have a lot of things that's going on. You know, I'm on the front line. I am a board certified anesthesiologist as well. So I'm grateful for that title, but I do a lot of other things also. And so I just want to make sure that I actually give you valuable information. If you have any questions or concerns, let us know. The last thing again, if you want to be a part of our Podcast Profit Formula Academy that's coming up, we're going to take you from step 1 all the way to launching your podcast and actually making some money. Okay, we got to make some ching. Okay, but we're going to jump on off of here. I love you guys. I love you. But guess what? Make sure you actually doing something that you can be seen, be heard, and get paid in an honorable way. Let me make sure I say that, okay? But if you need any assistance, let me know. I'm also a grief counselor. If you need some information with that, you know, mental health is real. So do not stay in the situation that you're in. I want to let you know that you do have a calling. You do have a reason you were born. You're not a mistake. We, all of us, have to do 3 things. We have to believe, we have to trust, and we have to walk it out. All right? And we got to don't stop. Y'all know the rest. Get it. And we have to get our purpose and get our purpose now. I am Dr. Renee Sunday, the platform builder, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.